Welcome to the S&P 500 weekly market pulse for trading week of July 20 through July 24, 2026. I am Kollol Hossain and we are breaking down everything you need to know about the week's market action. The numbers, the winners, the losers, and it all means for investors. Let's start with the headline numbers of the week. As first, we are going to share with the index. What is the broader index happened here? The S&P 500 opened the week at 7,457.69 and closed at 7,411.98, posting a modest decline of 0.61 percentage for the week. The index saw a mixed performance across the 5 trading sessions. Here's how the week played out day by day. Monday, July 20, the index is down 0.19 percentage to 7,443.28. Tuesday, July 21st, a strong rebound with a gain of 0.89% to 7,509.20. Wednesday, July 22nd, a slight pullback of 0.14% to 7,498.96. Thursday, July 23rd, the worst day of the week, dropping 1.21 percentage to 7,408.30. Friday, July 24th, a modest recovery of 0.05 percentage to close at 7,411.98. Despite the late week recovery, the index remained 45.71 points below where it started the week, for a cumulative return of negative 0.61 percentage. So now, what happened? This is the graph here. You can see at a glance. Now, what is the sectoral gainer and performance? Leading the gains this week were the traditionally defensive sectors. Utilities topped the list with a gain of 2.575 percentage. Investors seeking safety in an uncertain market. Materials followed closely at 2.71% up. Energy rose plus 2.54 percentage, likely supported by oil price movements. Industrial added 2.03 percentage. Real estate gain 0.68 percentage. Healthcare is higher by 0.43 percentage. Now move to the weekly. This is the weekly gainer chart. You can see here at a glance, and this is the weekly sector losers. On losing side, growth and consumer facing sector struggled. Communication services was the worst performing, falling 3.05 percentage. Consumer staples declined 0.99 percentage. Consumer discretionary slipped 0.53 percentage. Information technology barely moved lower at 0.06 percentage down. Financials rounded out the losers at 0.02 percentage. S&P 500, and this is the chart here. You can see at a glance. And S&P 500 sector P, where valuation remains a key story in this market. Information technology continues to trade at the highest sector P ratio at 59.4 times, followed by real estate at 57.5 times. At the other hand, at the other end of the spectrum, financial trade at just 21.2, with utilities at 24.1 times. The average sector P stands at 37.2 times, leaving a spread of 38.2 times between the highest and the lowest value sectors. S&P 500 weekly top 10 are gainers leads. Here is the gainer. The top performance of this week show a clear pattern. Value and industrial names leading the charge. Supermicro Computer was the standout winner, gaining 26.31%. The AI server maker continues to ride the AI wave. Wabtec Corporation, WAB, the industrial rail equipment manufacturer, rose 17.32%. International paper IP climbed 16.30%, leading the materials rally. Dell Technologies added 14.56%. Lockheed Martin gained 14.34%. SLB rose 13%. Digital Reality Trust DLR gained 12.95%. United Rentals URI claimed 12.73% among those. And there are also top 10 PKJSW URI and so on. This is the graph here. You can see at a glance. Now top 10 loser, the other side flip of the coin. Meanwhile, the week's biggest losers were dominated by tech and discretionary names. Tesla was the worst performer, plunging 15.30% as the EV maker faced renewed pressure. Rollins ROL fell 13.81%. MSCI dropped 11.89%. CH Robinson declined 9.38%. Google parent Alphabet fell over 9% as communications services weighed on the index. Now S&P, this is the loser chart. You can see here at a glance, top 10 loser. Now the P ratio analysis. Looking at individual stocks, we are seeing some truly extreme valuation. Intel Corporation, INTC, trades at an astounding 675.6 times earnings despite falling 5.4% on the week. Microchip Technology, MCHP, comes in at 450.4x time, and Planted PLT are at 416.2 times. At the bargain end of the spectrum, here is the lowest. Comest CSA trades at just 4.7 times earnings. Charter Communication CHTR at 5.5 times and AMCR at 5.7 times. These extreme valuation spreads highlights the market's concentration in AI-related names and continued rotation out of richly valued growth stocks. Here is the P ratio visualization at a glance. You can see here graphically, and lowest P ratio you see here, there is the, you can easily graph there. So now turnover leaders. Trading activity was heaviest in the technology sector. Micron Technology MU recorded an incredible 20.08 trillion in weekly turnover, by far the highest in the market. Nvidia NVDA followed with 12.36 trillion, Sandix SNDK with 14.46 trillion, and Tesla TSL with 9.97 trillion. 9.97 trillion. Now Apple followed by then AMD, Google. Here is the graph, turnover charts. You can see here what is the market summary. So in a snapshot, SP 500 weekly return dropped 0.61%. S&P 500 opening at 7457.69 and close at 7411.98. Top gainer SMCI 26.31% up. Top loser Tesla 15.30% down. Best sector utilities positive 2.75%. Worst sector communication minus 3.04%. Highest sector P information technology 59.4 times. Lowest sector P financial 21.2 times. Average sector P 37.2 times. Sector P spread 38.2 times. Top turnover MU 20 trillion. Combined turnover top 10 91 trillion. highest stock P INTC 675.6 times, lowest stock P CM CSA 4.74 time. So what is the investor takeaway? Before that, we want to show the macroeconomic indicators. This where we can see federal fund rate 3.63% as on June 1, consumer price index 332.57 updated on June 1, core CPI 336.06 updated on June 1st, unemployment rate 4.20% updated on January 1, 2026, GDP 24,180.442 on updated on January 1, and 10-year treasury yield updated on July 23, 4.71%. So what is the investor takeaway this week? The defensive rotation into utilities and materials suggests caution. Communication services weakness warrants attention, especially Google's decline. Extreme PE spreads highlight concentration risk in tech. Trading volumes remain elevated in semiconductor names. So I am Md Kollol Hossain, and this has been your S&P 500 stock pulse. Stay tuned for our next market pulse, and also subscribe our channel to get latest video and everything. So this is press our bell icon so that you can get updated. See you soon. Again, thank you. Bye for now.